Daniel Johnson.
Oh man, I thought that was such a great recording.
Yes.
I can't wait to see what we get out of it.
I know.
That could be a few episodes.
That could be like a 3-parter.
So if you don't know, Daniel Johnson, as of June this year, is the new COO of the company. So he's been with us since Toyota of Bristol, which we sold in 2014. Daniel Johnson starting as an advisor, now the chief operating officer at Hudson Automotive Group.
Yeah.
He's got a great story.
He has an amazing story. And what a testament to the idea that he came out of his life of organized crime with the East Tennessee Mafia and created a career for himself. It's really something.
Oh, yeah, it's really something. Like, listen to the episode. There's some really fun stories in here from a really, really smart person.
Watch it.
Unpopular opinions.
Okay.
We've never done this segment before. This is a completely new innovation for Between Two Cars.
All right.
But we think it'll be fun.
We think
Let's
so.
Stir up the pot a little bit.
Yeah. All right, you say that. I brought my big stirring stick.
Like, if anything gets too crazy, we cut it out. Okay, who wants to start? Daniel, you're the guest.
I'm the guest. I have to go first?
We'd like for you to start.
Well, the only real unpopular thing I could think of I've shared with you is, what's the right protocol, Christmas light protocol?
Okay.
All
Let's hear your thoughts on the
Well,
Christmas
okay,
light
so
protocol.
so we think that, there's time for Halloween
When you
decorations.
say we,
My family.
Okay.
Okay. There's Halloween decorations, and we really like Thanksgiving decorations, right?
oh, like
Yeah.
the cornucopia
Yeah,
and all that.
absolutely. And then you put up your Christmas decorations. But the thing I don't understand is why people put them up at Halloween and then take them down on Christmas. Like, why do we not celebrate the 12 days of Christmas? Like,
Well, how do you feel about the people that leave them up through January?
I hate them.
well, yeah, both extremes, right? I mean, basically, is what you're saying is, But I mean,
So the right way to do it is, tell us.
Tell us now.
I believe, okay,
I believe
that if the
You
12
gotta take
days
a-
of
you gotta
Christmas
take a
is actually
stand.
the 12 days of Christmas is actually a thing. It's not like just a song, right? And so January 6th is the day that Christmas is technically over.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you are a
Yeah.
true disciple of Christmas.
that's right. Yeah. So why would you quit celebrating on the afternoon of Christmas when you've and start taking down all your decorations?
Here's what I believe should happen with our lights.
Okay.
Okay. I believe, so growing up, we always went, so the day after Thanksgiving, that Friday, we went to the Christmas tree farm and we would saw down a tree and take it home and decorate it the day after Thanksgiving.
Cool.
Yeah.
However, now as an adult, I've told you this before, but we host Thanksgiving, and I kind of want my tree up so that other people can enjoy it with us, and and give me compliments and be like, your tree is so beautiful, right? I need that time. So I kind of lately these past few years have been putting it up before Thanksgiving so that I can get the tree compliments.
And when do you take it down, Faith?
So I believe
Here
it
it
should
comes,
be
Caleb.
taken down. I believe it should be taken down on the first of the year, because when the hell else do you have time? You have a day off on the first. I'm using that day off to take down Christmas decorations and lights and going throughout my new year.
White lights are colored.
So okay. So
Stirring
what'd
the
you
pot.
say?
Yeah, we were white.
White lights are colored.
Colored for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, colored by all.
So I always liked to do colored lights, and then my husband came along and he was like, we're not doing this madness.
Showed you the way, is what he did.
Like white lights all the way. And I have to say that I do kind of enjoy the kind of like tranquility and
Of the white
beauty.
light. So we were
It
white
doesn't look
light.
terrible.
We
Looks
were
fine.
white light, but now, you talk about the technology. So now the tree has colored and they changed to white. It's a thing.
Wait,
Your
wait.
tree?
Yeah. Yeah, we just
Really?
bought a new tree last year, and so you can.
Do you
the
use
li-
the colored or do you use the white?
Well, I'm really kind of more white, but my wife tells me that the colored is in style now, right? That's like the latest.
Do you guys do
And so we
tree-
do both.
Should I give you one of my controversial?
Sure.
Let's hear it.
All right. People's teeth are getting just too white. Like, how white is white enough? Like, good grief.
Like on the Friends episode.
What happened to your teeth?
I whitened them. What was wrong with your old human teeth?
Yes.
Yes.
It's
yeah.
so
you know,
distracting.
I just showed my age, didn't I?
I'm with you, man.
No,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Millennial. But like
I
now,
mean, even the teens are watching the Friends episodes, right?
Yes.
Yeah, 'cause
Yes.
they're coming back
Yeah.
around. Yeah.
yeah. So like, but too ridiculous. Like it's so stupid. Like it's almost like they're radioactive. Like would you brush with plutonium? Like,
What,
it's-
what do you want
Right.
people to have wooden teeth again?
I just a little natural bone color is okay. That's all I'm saying. You know, not everybody has to be Seacrest. You know, like
How can that be good for your teeth?
it's unnatural.
It's got to be.
It looks
Yeah.
completely. I bet one day it's going to give you tumors the size of grapefruits. We just don't know it yet.
If you use crest whitening strips between 2000 and 2024, call now.
You may be entitled to compensation.
Yeah. Faith just spoke it, right? I mean, even called out the brand and everything. I mean,
Yes. But come on, let's bring back, Mrs. Buttersworth. Teeth. Yellow.
I mean, I think there's a happy medium.
I'm kidding, of course.
There's a happy medium there. I do love a nice kind of like sparkly white
Oh, yeah, for sure.
smile. It looks good. But I definitely agree that,
Yeah.
sometimes we go a little too far.
And let's be
not
clear.
just with that.
Yeah, I'm not advocating for like London in
Are
1862.
we talking about it's okay if your teeth are yellow, and it's okay if you have a little bit of wrinkles in your
Just
face.
make sure you brush, right? Okay, let's
Just make sure it's minty fresh. Ding.
and visit your dentist at least twice a year. Okay, make sure you.
Use that dental
Yeah,
insurance you
yeah.
pay for.
There you
We
go.
pay.
We're car dealers. We believe in maintenance, right? Yeah. So,
Zing. Well done.
yeah.
What about yours?
All right, my unpopular opinion. Let's see, which one do I want to share with y'all? Okay. I don't believe that we should encourage kids to attend college right out of high school.
Oh, I agree.
It is, first of all, way too expensive these days. And these kids that come out of college have zero life experience. They think that what they learned in school is going to help them in any job that they take, and it doesn't, because it's not real life experience. It's all hypothetical BS.
Yeah.
And now they're in extreme debt. They come in wanting to make, twice what probably have some managers making. They have expectations of making, as much or more than managers that we've had there.
Right.
And thinking they know what's happening and they don't. But the thing is, I know for myself when I was 18, oh my God.
Unthinkable. You did.
I
Well,
had no
but-
idea what
So,
I
what did you learn in
wanted.
college? One thing, real quick. What comes to mind?
So I had this summer.
I know
school-
it's not educational. Okay, so that's
I had this-
that's kind of what you're saying.
I had
Faith,
this
really,
summer
I think,
school
is-
class where I did the teacher let me do magic tricks for the class.
See,
Exhibit
yeah. So you could have just taken a magic course, right? Is that what you're saying?
I could have.
Yeah.
Listen, I just think that we're setting our kids up for failure when we're the colleges are not teaching them what they need to be successful in the real world, and they come out with just all of this debt. And frankly, at 18 years old, 17, I was in college when I was 17, 18 years old. I was not in a position to make decisions about what my future life was gonna be like.
Right.
And I had no idea. And then we're asking them to go in here and choose your major and know what it is that you want to do, and you're 18 years old, and then we make them feel bad if like they change their major or like go from one thing to another thing. And like I just think that it's you know.
I completely agree. My wife chose her college strictly based on whether the food was good, and I'm not kidding. She's like, Malone has really good food.
Is that how you met her?
She transferred. She was there 1 year and transferred to Moody Bible Institute, and that's where I met her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, but man, they got great chops, great lamb chops. God, man, this school's awesome. Like,
You know, I think it's you know, like most things, extremes, right? We got to stay away from the extremes. And if you like, I have my youngest daughter wants to be a nurse. Sorry, Caleb, you got me saying like all the time already, but she wants to be a nurse.
You've got to have school for
Yeah,
that.
you have to have school for that, and so
Doctor,
I think it's really
lawyer.
kind of getting out. I think the programs that get into the schools, the high schools, that really talk to them about careers and what they want to do postgraduate high school are so important, because it opens their mind to I just have to go to college, right?
Correct.
Because so many people that my friends that started and didn't finish, and you know, and then it sets them back, right?
Yeah.
You know, and they would have been better off
Now
working,
you owe
learning
more
a
money,
trade,
and you
right?
don't have the experience that you need.
Right. Right.
And
Yes.
so in these kids, so I do some mentoring for some girls, and like they are always plan your future. What are your future goals? And it means to them they have to decide like what it is they want to do. And I think that's okay, but also like no idea. I want to be a military nurse, right? But all you know, or I want to be a real estate agent, or I want to be a lawyer, but all you know is like this thing you see on the outside. Like if anybody has not been in the automotive industry, they have no idea like what really happens, like what this job really entails. And that's another thing. We ask them like, okay, pick a job, and like they have no idea. They know what they see on TV about these jobs, and they have no idea what it means to like really be a real estate agent and like build relationships with people and network and like do this and do that and the other thing. Like it's just and that's everybody. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, you look at our company, and the number of key leaders that do a really, really good job that never attended college, that started in this industry. You know, maybe they went into the restaurant industry first, or whatever they did. They just found a job out of high school, and they end up in our business, and then they grow and learn, and you know, the leadership skills again are there for a lot of them, and they didn't necessarily need that college education, right?
That's right.
As long as they're willing to learn and continue to grow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that's what we're failing to teach our children. And I don't know. I know in high school there's like my goddaughter takes this like leadership course, but I don't really know what they they teach in there. But what we're failing to like really bring home to them is like it matters your the relationships you build, and it matters like the influence that you build, and it also matters like going above and beyond, like doing like you taking it on yourself and not seeing it as a responsibility of a boss or anybody else to teach you, but you taking it on yourself to be like, how can I learn every single thing there is to know about this thing that I'm doing? Because those are the people that are successful, right?
Right.
The people that take it on themselves and say, I'm in this position. Oh, curiosity. I want to know about this, and how does this work, and how do I do this?
Right.
Let me figure it out, right? Or let me ask these people, right? You don't have to figure it out on your own. There's tons of resources. Like, let me start asking questions and stuff. Those are the people that are successful, and that's what we, like, for some reason, we're teaching people, kids, like, do like, I don't know if we're teaching them or this is just where they are. Like, here I am. I'm here from 8 to 5, and then I'm going home, and don't ask me to do anything else, or like write it down in my job description, and then that's it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And like, I'm not doing anything more. Somehow that's where we are, and that's not where like. But there are those that come in and they don't have that mindset, and those are the ones I think that end up being successful, and it doesn't have anything to do with schooling.
No.
Right.
It really doesn't.
So that brings me to my next question, which is, tell us more about the East Tennessee Mafia?
Ooh, I knew you were. Faith, I knew if there was one question I knew I was going to get, it was going to be about the East Tennessee Mafia.
Is it a real thing, Daniel?
I forget.
Are you allowed to talk about it?
Who gave us the nickname? I can't remember who gave us the nickname of the East Tennessee Mafia. But I guess technically,
Because you are, in fact, the leader of the East Tennessee Mafia.
Am I still? I've technically kind of relocated.
Have you passed off that mantle?
I'm still working on my succession plan for that. I guess what happened is, back in those days with the company, we were technically kind of the first region, right? So, because we had those 4 stores all close together, and we all traveled everywhere together. So it was like we were all rolling in, Ed would always drive, which is honestly some of the most humorous times we've had is listening to him. We could have, like when we were playing that game, if we were done 4-letter words, I would have learned most of them from Ed, from traveling with him. And actually Russ wrote a book about all of the Ed quotes.
No way.
Oh yeah.
I know Russ has a couple
It's not
books
for
out
public
there,
consumption.
but
It's really
Russ
not.
is
We
going to be on the
would not.
podcast next month, so we can ask him about that.
Yeah, but we don't. It's like part of the code. He didn't. Nobody gets to read this except the members of the mafia. Okay, but so I think and obviously we've all been with the company for a long time. So we developed a really, really strong bond. Good friends, great leaders.
What are some of the best pranks that have happened inside the East Tennessee Mafia?
Final cut, so you can say it.
Oh my gosh. Best pranks. They started with the alarm calls, and I've heard different versions of this, so I'll just give the official version. Okay. So Andrew, first of all, he is the root of all the pranks. They all start with him.
Do
Okay.
they?
Yes. He either prompts someone to do it, he either does it himself, or in some way, shape, or form, they all start there. Okay, so if there's a prank happening, we know the source. Okay, and so we were at a GM meeting, and I think it's Russ and Andrew's first. Okay, no, it's their second meeting because Andrew at the first one, he was so scared he hardly wouldn't talk to anybody.
We're talking about 2015 here, guys.
Yeah, 2015-ish. Okay. And so Andrew gets Ed's phone because Ed was the worst at password protecting anything. Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, and he goes into his alarm, and I want to say he sets alarm starting at 3 a.m. in the morning for every 15 minutes. Okay.
Sharing a hotel room with this joker.
Every 15 minutes, and he says, "Hey Ed, you know what would be really funny? Is if you went over there and ordered wake-up calls for Russ's room for every 30 minutes, starting at 3 a.m., right?" And so, again, the source, and he gets Ed and Russ just like this at each other, and he's just kind of sitting back taking it all in. Well, it gets so bad that, Ed's wife gets involved, okay? And starts signing
She's awesome too.
Starts signing Andrew up for all this different stuff. He's getting calls, buy insurance, this, jet ski. I mean, you name it. I mean, she signed him up for everything.
Is this for real? This is
for real. This is for real.
Do you have to change his phone number?
No, Andrew played it off like this is not that big a deal. You know how he's,
By the way, we do own a timeshare now.
Yeah, exactly. So that was kind of the start of all of it. That was the original, prank. Cool. And then from there, it just kind of morphed into the funniest of all the stories, okay? And if you didn't know, Ed and I are related. So or so some people think, right? So we were at a 20 group meeting. Yeah. This is super funny. And my kids and my wife were with me, and his kids and his wife. And again, we'd known each other for a long time at this point. And my kids are technically older, Okay, but one of the members of the 20 group who had maybe been a little bit overserved at the reception.
Happens
Yeah.
every year.
Yes, yeah. This was actually our old Ford 20 group before we started doing them internally. But this guy walks up to Ed, and because I'm not at every meeting, right? Because I'm the technically the regional guy, and so I come to about one a year. Yeah. And we happen to bring our families to this particular one, and he says, Ed, man, it is so good that you would bring your grandkids, your son and your grandkids to this meeting, right? And he is older than me, okay? And I can't wait for him to watch this. He is older than me, like a lot older than me. But so that
Ed, I still love you.
Yeah. So anyway, forever, hey, we would refer to him as my dad, and I'm his son, and so on and so forth. But in the meeting, literally, we're in the 20 group meeting, and all the other guys, this one guy is the only one who doesn't know. And so all the other dealers are having a good time with it. And as I'm speaking during one of the meetings or whatever, and the guy says, one of the other dealers goes, Ed, it's so good when you bring your son to these meetings. It's
just preparing him for the family business.
Yeah. So then moving forward, of course, again, back to the source of all the pranks, who is Andrew. We'll go to a restaurant or whatever. He'll catch the waiter off to the side and he'll say, hey, you need to have a little fun with this. And this Ed guy, ask him if this is his son, right? So it goes on. It happens like 5 to 10 more times before Ed finally realizes that, hey, Andrew's messing with me again. So we've had a lot of fun with that. A lot of fun.
To it.
Yeah.
That's what makes a prank real, right? When you really you commit to it. Like when we talk to Greg, Greg's he's the ultimate prankster.
He's got a bunch of good ones.
Commits.
He really does.
Long game. He's like
Yeah.
the long game.
Yeah, that's right. But we've been a part of so many good ones. I mean, Adam and the whole catbacks thing with Ed, that was hilarious because what nobody really got to see that only I had a window to was walking into Ed's office when he was actually receiving these texts, right? Do you know about this?
No, I don't.
You don't know the catback story?
No.
Caleb.
Oh, we were trying to get Adam on here.
We
so
should
he
do a
could
whole
tell the
podcast
catback
about
story.
I mean, catbags should have its own podcast.
Catbacks.
Catbacks.
We will get catbacks
Yeah.
its own episode. Stay tuned.
It is the prank of all pranks in the Hudson Automotive Group. He would opt out, and then the next text was, well, congratulations, you've enrolled in. And it just kept on going. And then